All right, let's dive into this. Acrylamide, right. You guys requested a deep dive on this, and wow, it's considered more dangerous than high fructose corn syrup and sugar, starches, and seed oils.
All combined.
Yeah. And our source for this is a YouTube video by Dr. Eric Berg, a chiropractor who calls acrylamide the #1 most dangerous ingredient in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know about you, but that definitely caught my attention.
That's a pretty bold statement.
Yeah.
But it does raise an important question.
Yeah.
What makes it so dangerous? And why is it flying under the radar for so many people?
Yeah, that's what we're here to uncover. So what is acrylamide, and how do we minimize our exposure to it?
Well, the first thing to understand is that you're not going to find acrylamide on an ingredient list.
Okay.
It's actually a byproduct that forms during cooking.
Okay.
Specifically when certain foods are cooked at high temperatures.
Oh, so it's like a secret agent operating in the shadows of our kitchens, like...
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Like secretly making these things, and then...
And it's a pretty formidable foe.
Yeah.
The EPA and International Cancer Associations have classified acrylamide as a probable human carcinogen.
Okay.
Meaning it has the potential to cause cancer.
Right. And you said it's not just cancer, but...
It's not just a cancer risk.
Yeah.
It's also a neurotoxin, meaning it can negatively impact your nervous system and brain function.
Okay.
There's even evidence suggesting it can be harmful to reproductive health as well.
Yeah. Okay, so this deep dive this is serious stuff.
It is.
So how does this invisible villain form in our food?
How does it actually form?
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Berg mentioned something called the Maillard reaction.
Uh-huh.
And the Maillard reaction is a chemical process that occurs when a specific amino acid called asparagine reacts with sugars under high heat.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here. High heat.
Yeah.
What kind of temperatures are we talking about?
We're talking anything above 285 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 120 degrees Celsius. That's the point at which acrylamide formation really starts to kick in.
And then on top of that, it forms a more toxic byproduct.
Right, it gets worse.
Called glycinamide.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Glycinamide is believed to be the real culprit when it comes to acrylamide's cancer-causing potential.
So if high heat is the trigger, what are some of the foods that are likely to have acrylamide?
Well, think about all those crispy, crunchy, golden brown foods that we love.
Okay.
Potato chips, French fries, crackers, cookies, even breakfast cereals.
Okay.
They're all potential sources of acrylamide.
Right.
And don't forget about roasted coffee.
Oh, no, not my coffee.
Yeah, no, right?
So it's like, it's the ultra-processed foods that are such a big part of the modern diet.
They are.
Especially, he specifically called out teenagers and toddlers. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you think about
especially
cancer being the second most common cause of death worldwide.
It's a concern.
Yeah, it is a big concern.
Yeah.
So the good news is there are things that we can do.
There are.
To minimize our exposure to acrylamide.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, what are those things?
Well, we've got to start with our cooking methods.
Right.
You know, remember, high heat is the enemy.
Right.
So opting for lower cooking temperatures and slower cooking methods can make a big difference.
So ditch the deep fryer and embrace the slow cooker?
Exactly.
Right.
And when it comes to those refined sugars that contribute to acrylamide formation, try using natural sweeteners like honey or maple syrup instead. You know, those kinds of things.
Oh, right.
Really kind of rethink your snack drawer.
Yeah, I know. A
little bit.
This is really making me rethink a lot of things.
Yeah.
So what about, is there anything else we can do in the kitchen to kind of mitigate the risk?
Well, believe it or not,
the
type of fat you use for cooking also plays a role. Dr. Berg really emphasizes that using saturated fats like tallow, coconut oil, or butter during cooking can actually protect against acrylamide formation.
Wait, so saturated fat, which we've always heard is like the bad guy.
Right.
Is actually, in this case, a good guy.
In this case, it's the hero.
Yeah, okay.
And remember how we were talking about how fast food restaurants are often cited as major acrylamide culprits?
Yeah.
Well, it's partly because they often use seed oils for frying, which are less stable at high temperatures.
Interesting.
True.
It's like a complete reversal of what we've always been told about
it really is.
fats, which is interesting. So
it just goes to show that it's always good to question conventional wisdom and dig a little deeper.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
That's why we do these deep dives. was to really kind of question some of that stuff. So,
yeah.
So switching to healthier fats, kind of win-win, right?
It's a win-win.
Better for our health, and then it helps reduce our exposure. So what about foods that can help, like, counteract the effects of acrylamide?
Are there things we can eat that actually help?
Yeah, like, are there things that, like...
You mean like an antidote of sorts?
Yeah, like, that can help with that?
Well, there isn't a magic bullet.
Okay.
But there are certain foods that can help protect against acrylamide's harmful effects.
Okay.
He calls them protective foods.
Okay.
And he highlights a few key players.
Okay, so what are they?
Well, load up on those cruciferous vegetables.
Okay.
Like broccoli, Brussels sprouts,
yep,
cauliflower, and kale.
Okay.
They contain compounds that can actually help to neutralize acrylamide.
So they're good for something.
Yeah.
All right.
And don't underestimate the power of garlic.
Okay.
It's a potent ally in the fight against acrylamide.
Garlic. Okay, got it.
Sprouts.
Okay.
Especially broccoli sprouts.
Okay.
Are packed with protective properties.
Mm-hmm.
And you can never go wrong with vitamin C-rich foods like citrus fruits, bell peppers, and berries.
Okay.
Those kinds of things.
So lots of colorful fruits and veggies?
Exactly. A diet rich in those vibrant foods provides a natural defense against acrylamide and other toxins as well.
So we've got our veggies.
Right.
Garlic. Sprouts. And vitamin C. What about beverages?
Beverages?
Yeah, like...
Well, green tea is a great choice.
Okay.
Its antioxidants can help combat the damage caused by acrylamide.
I do love a good cup of green tea. Anything else?
Well, if you're feeling adventurous,
okay,
spirulina is another option.
Okay.
It's a type of blue-green algae that's packed with nutrients and antioxidants.
All right, I'm going to have to look into that. So what about coffee? You mentioned that it contains acrylamide.
Yeah.
So should we just, like, not drink coffee at all?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
There's actually a surprising twist when it comes to coffee and acrylamide.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So you would think that coffee roasted at higher temperatures would have more acrylamide, right? Right?
Yeah.
But it turns out that dark roast and espresso coffee, despite being roasted at higher temperatures, actually have lower acrylamide content than light roast coffee.
Really? So the darker the better in this case?
In this case, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
The high heat used in dark roasting actually makes the acrylamide unstable, causing it to break down.
Wow, the more you know.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
It is kind of cool.
So we can still enjoy our morning cup of joe without worrying about acrylamide?
Yeah, if you make the right choice.
If you make the right choice, okay.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so I think before we go any further, I think it's time for a quick recap.
I agree.
Of everything that we've learned so far about acrylamide.
That's it.
So we've established that acrylamide is a probable human carcinogen, a neurotoxin.
That's right.
And potentially harmful to reproductive health. And it's formed during cooking when the amino acid asparagine reacts with sugars under high heat. So anything cooked above 285 degrees Fahrenheit is a potential acrylamide culprit.
That's a great summary.
And we also know that it's found in lots of processed foods.
Yeah, a lot of our favorite foods, unfortunately.
Yeah, like potato chips, French fries, crackers, cookies, and roasted coffee.
Right.
And we also know that we can significantly reduce our exposure by choosing lower cooking temperatures.
Absolutely.
Using natural sweeteners.
Yes.
Incorporating healthy fats like tallow or coconut oil.
That's right.
And loading up on those protective foods.
Yeah. Our
army of protection, which are the cruciferous veggies, garlic, sprouts, and vitamin C-rich foods.
And don't forget
the
dark roast coffee beans.
Yes.
That's good news for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's good news for me. All right, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
But one question I have is, what about the acrylamide we've already consumed?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Is there anything we can do to reverse any potential damage?
That's a great question, and one that deserves some exploration.
Okay.
You know, we can't undo past exposures.
Right.
But there are steps we can take to support our body's natural detoxification processes.
Okay.
And potentially mitigate any damage.
Okay, so what can we do to help our bodies, like, clean house?
Well, a healthy lifestyle is the foundation.
Okay.
And this includes a balanced diet rich in whole foods, regular exercise, adequate sleep, and stress management.
Okay, so those are all great for our overall health. But how do they specifically help with the acrylamide damage?
Well, these healthy habits support our body's natural detoxification pathways.
Okay.
For example, a diet rich in fruits and vegetables provides antioxidants that can help neutralize harmful free radicals, including those generated by acrylamide.
So they're like working double duty, huh?
They are, yeah, they are.
They're protecting us from acrylamide, but also helping to clean up the mess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And regular exercise helps improve circulation and lymphatic drainage, which aids in the removal of toxins from the body.
I never really thought of exercise as like a detoxification tool.
It is.
But that's pretty interesting.
It is. It's incredibly effective.
Okay.
And don't underestimate the power of sleep.
Okay.
Adequate sleep is essential for cellular repair and regeneration, which is crucial for recovering from any damage caused by acrylamide or other toxins.
So our sleep is not just about rest. It's actually about giving our body time to
heal and repair.
Precisely.
Okay.
And finally, stress management is key.
Stress. What does stress have to do with it?
Well, when your body is under chronic stress,
okay,
it releases hormones like cortisol,
right,
which can actually suppress the immune system.
Oh, wow.
And impair detoxification processes.
So, like, stress is blocking our body from being able to clean up the mess.
That's a great way to put it.
So, incorporating stress-reducing activities like meditation, yoga, or spending time in nature can support our body's natural detoxification abilities.
Okay, so it's like we've got to look at it's like a whole
body
approach.
It is a holistic approach, addressing all aspects of our well-being to help our bodies recover from any potential acrylamide damage.
All right, so this is good. So there are things we can do to help mitigate the damage, even if we've had exposure in the past?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Our bodies are incredibly resilient.
Yeah.
And by adopting healthy habits, we can support their natural healing processes.
Well, this has been really eye-opening.
It has been, hasn't it?
We've learned so much about acrylamide, its risks, and most importantly, how to protect ourselves.
Yeah, how to minimize that exposure.
Yeah. But before we wrap up part one, I'm wondering if high heat is the culprit for acrylamide formation.
Right.
What other common cooking practices might contribute to the creation of this harmful compound?
That's a great question, and one I think you should consider as we move into part two.
Okay.
We've focused on the usual suspects, like potato chips and French fries.
Right.
But what about other cooking techniques that involve high heat? I think it's time to expand our investigation and see where else acrylamide might be lurking.
I'm ready to put on my detective hat.
Let's do it.
Let's take a break and come back to uncover more about acrylamide and its hiding places in our kitchens.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into acrylamide. Before the break, we were talking about all the other ways we might be creating this harmful compound in our kitchens without even realizing it.
Yeah. It's like we've opened Pandora's box of potential acrylamide culprits.
Yeah, but we're here to shed some light on those hidden sources and give you guys, the listeners, the knowledge to make informed choices, right?
Absolutely. That's the goal.
So where do we begin our investigation?
Well, we know high heat is the main trigger for acrylamide formation. So let's consider some of the most popular cooking techniques that involve high temperatures.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, let's start with a summertime favorite, grilling.
Oh, yeah.
Grilling over an open flame can expose food to extremely high temperatures, especially when you're aiming for those picture-perfect grill marks.
I have to admit, I love those grill marks, but is that a bad thing?
Well, they could be a red flag for acrylamide, especially when grilling meats. Remember, meat contains those amino acids, like asparagine, that can react with sugars to form acrylamide under high heat.
So our juicy burgers and sizzling steaks, those could be potential acrylamide bombs.
It's not about eliminating these foods altogether, but rather understanding the risks and making informed choices. For example, you can lower the grilling temperature and cook foods more slowly.
So use indirect heat on the grill or use a meat thermometer.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Marinades can actually help reduce acrylamide formation. Yeah. Marinades often contain acidic ingredients like lemon juice or vinegar, which can help inhibit the reaction that leads to acrylamide.
So our flavorful marinades are actually doing double duty, adding taste and protection.
It's a win-win.
Okay, so grilling, got it. What about roasting?
Yes, roasting.
Yeah?
We love those crispy, caramelized roasted vegetables, but achieving that texture often requires high oven temperatures.
Oh, no, not my roasted root vegetables. Are you trying to take away all my favorite foods?
Not at all. They are nutritious, but as we've learned, high heat can lead to acrylamide formation. It's all about finding that balance between taste and minimizing risk.
Okay, so how do we do that?
When roasting vegetables, try tossing them with a little bit of oil and water before putting them in the oven. This can help prevent them from drying out and burning.
Okay, a little hydration never hurt. Any other roasting tips?
You can also try lowering the oven temperature and roasting for a longer period of time. It might take a bit more patience, but it's worth it to reduce your acrylamide exposure.
These are all great tips. It seems like being mindful of cooking temperatures and using a few simple techniques can make a big difference in reducing our acrylamide intake.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the importance of a balanced diet.
Always important.
If you are indulging in a grilled steak or roasted potatoes, be sure to pair them with plenty of those protective foods we discussed earlier.
Yes. Our cruciferous friends, garlic, sprouts, vitamin C-rich foods, green tea, and spirulina.
Right. They can help mitigate the potential negative effects of acrylamide and support overall health.
This is such a great reminder that food is not just about taste. It's about nourishing our bodies and making choices that support our well-being. It's about being mindful and informed.
Well said. This deep dive into acrylamide has really highlighted the interconnectedness of food, cooking, and health.
It really has. It's amazing how much we can learn from exploring just one ingredient and its journey from farm to table to our plates.
It is fascinating, and it reminds us that there's always more to discover, more to question, and more ways to optimize our well-being.
Okay, so we've talked extensively about reducing acrylamide exposure, but I want to know, what about the damage that's already been done? Like, is there anything we can do to reverse the effects of acrylamide that we might have already consumed?
That's a fantastic question, and it shows you're committed to taking control of your health.
I try.
It's true that we can't go back in time and undo past exposures, but we can definitely take proactive steps to support our body's natural detoxification systems.
Okay, so what can we do?
Well, as we discussed earlier, a healthy lifestyle is the foundation. But let's break that down into actionable steps. First and foremost, focus on nourishing your body with a balanced diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods.
You mean ditching the processed snacks and opting for whole grains, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats?
Exactly. Remember, those protective foods we discussed earlier, they're not just protecting you from future acrylamide exposure, they're also providing your body with the nutrients it needs to detoxify and repair.
They really are like little superheroes.
They are. And in addition to a healthy diet, regular exercise is crucial for detoxification. Physical activity helps improve circulation, which allows your body to transport toxins to the organs responsible for eliminating them.
So getting our sweat on helps flush out those harmful substances.
Yes. Think exercise as a way to boost your body's natural cleansing mechanisms. And while we're on the topic of cleansing, let's not forget about the importance of hydration.
You mean drinking plenty of water?
Yes. Water is essential for flushing toxins out of the body. Make sure you're staying well hydrated throughout the day.
Water, check. Anything else we can do to support our detox efforts?
Absolutely. Sleep. It's crucial for cellular repair and regeneration. When you sleep, your body gets to work repairing any damage that's been done throughout the day, including damage caused by toxins like acrylamide.
So getting a good night's sleep is actually giving our bodies time to heal.
Exactly. And last but not least, stress management.
Stress. I don't get it.
Well, when your body is under chronic stress, it releases hormones that can actually suppress the immune system and impair detoxification processes.
Oh, so stress is like blocking the cleanup crew.
That's a great way to put it. That's why incorporating stress-reducing activities into your daily routine is so important.
So it's a holistic approach addressing our physical, mental, and emotional well-being that truly empowers us to take control of our health and mitigate any potential damage caused by acrylamide or other toxins.
You've summed it up perfectly. It's about making those lifestyle choices that support our body's natural healing and detoxification processes.
I'm so glad we dug deeper into this. It's empowering to know that we have the tools to support our bodies and promote overall well-being. This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. But before we move on to part 3, we've uncovered the hidden dangers of acrylamide in cooked foods and explored ways to reduce our exposure. But what other potential toxins are lurking in our everyday lives?
That's an incredibly insightful question. We've only just scratched the surface of this topic, and there's a whole world of knowledge out there waiting to be discovered. I think it's time to shift our focus and consider the bigger picture. Let's take a break and come back to delve into the broader implications of what we've learned about acrylamide and how it can empower us to make healthier choices in all aspects of our lives.
Welcome back. I'm still processing everything we've uncovered about acrylamide. It's crazy how something so simple like browning food can have these big implications for our health.
Yeah, it really highlights the importance of, staying informed and questioning those assumptions, even when it comes to those everyday things like cooking.
Right, and it's like acrylamide is just the tip of the iceberg. Like, now I'm looking at everything a little differently, wondering what other things are out there that we're overlooking.
Exactly, and that's the kind of critical thinking we need to have. We've learned that, high heat can transform certain foods into, potential health hazards. But what about, other everyday products or habits that we just kind of take for granted?
Okay, I'm listening. What do you have in mind?
Well, think about our personal care products. We use lotions, shampoos, cosmetics every day.
Hmm.
But do we ever really stop to think about what's in those products and, how they might be affecting our health?
That's a good point. I'm usually pretty good about reading food labels, but I'll admit I don't really pay much attention to the labels on my beauty products.
And I get that, it can be overwhelming, but it's really worth it to take the time to become a more informed consumer. Just like we've learned to watch out for acrylamide in our food, we can do the same thing with the products we use on our skin and hair.
Okay, so how do we do that? Like, what should we be looking for?
Well, a good rule of thumb is to try to avoid products with, a huge list of ingredients you can't even pronounce. Look for things with natural plant-based ingredients and steer clear of harsh chemicals, synthetic fragrances, those kinds of things.
So basically, the simpler the better, right?
Yeah. And just like we prioritize organic produce to avoid pesticides, we can do the same with personal care products.
Right. Choose organic whenever possible.
Exactly.
It's all about bringing that same awareness and intentionality from the kitchen into other areas of our lives.
You got it. It's about, like, a holistic approach to health and well-being, It's about recognizing that everything's connected. Our food, our environment, the products we use, even our thoughts and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It all plays a role.
Wow, this is making me rethink my entire lifestyle.
It's a journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where else can we apply this kind of thinking?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the expert.
Okay, well, let's think about cleaning products. We use all sorts of cleaners to keep our homes nice and tidy, but a lot of those products contain harsh chemicals that can be harmful to our health.
Yeah, and the environment, too.
Right. And it's not just about us. Those chemicals can release, like, volatile organic compounds into the air, which contribute to indoor air pollution.
So it's not just about protecting ourselves, it's about protecting the planet, too.
Exactly. Just like we've learned to make healthier food choices, we can do the same thing with our cleaning products. Choose eco-friendly options that are safe for our families and the environment.
I love that. This whole conversation has been so empowering. It feels like we're taking back control of our health and well-being by becoming more informed.
That's the power of knowledge. It allows us to make choices that are good for us and create a healthier, happier life.
This has been a truly transformative deep dive. I feel like we've gone from acrylamide in our food to a whole new perspective on health and well-being.
It's been quite a journey, and I hope it's encouraged you to keep questioning and exploring.
Definitely inspired. I'm going to start reading labels more carefully, choosing more natural and organic products, and just being more aware of what I'm bringing into my home.
I love that. It's a process, and remember, there's always something new to learn.
Well, I'm so grateful for your expertise and guidance. What a great deep dive this has been.
It's been my pleasure. And remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed, make conscious choices, and create a healthier, happier life.
That's a perfect way to wrap things up. Thank you all for joining us on this exploration of acrylamide and the bigger picture of healthy living.
Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.
That's it for today's deep dive. We'll catch you next time for another adventure into the world of knowledge.